Alright, at this point, it doesn't matter what side's the top and what side's the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and mount the casters. I've got these locking casters. They're 3-inch wheels, 3.5 inches in total height. And I don't have proper screws to mount these with because the holes are rather large. So I'm just going to use a 1¼ inch drywall screw with a washer. And 4 per caster, so that'll hold it down just fine. I've just got my sheet of plywood sitting on top of my sawhorses in the shop, and I'm using a straight edge just to cut off 29 inches, and that's going to be the perfect size to go on top of the base. Again, we're using 1¼ inch drywall screws just to secure the top piece of plywood to the base, and then we'll cut the holes out for the dust collection. Alright, I'm just about ready to cut out for these dust collection ports. This is one of those 12-inch pans that came with the Harbor Freight dust collection hose kit, and I'm going to mount it from the bottom side. But first I needed to locate it, so what I did is, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if I can find it. Alright, right here is the corner of the table saw itself, and I outlined it, found center, and put this in place, and that's where it's going to be. So I traced around it and came back about 1 inch on the inside, and this is what I'm going to cut out, and it's going to mount from the bottom side. Also with this router side, same thing. Just found basically rough idea where I want it, and I'm going to cut it out and mount it from the bottom. And what I'm going to do is run my piping down and over with 2 blast gates, and I would like to figure out some way that I can extend the blast gates forward so they're going to be closer to here. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but I would really like to figure something out for that. Alright, the entire assembly is upside down and the holes were cut, and now I just mounted this flange to the bottom side with some, let's see, I'm using 1/2 inch sheet metal screws. I think that's what these are. Got one mounted, and I'm just going to mount the next one. Not sure if I'm going to seal up the sides with a bead of caulk or not. I don't know if that's going to have any impact. The other one sealed up pretty tight, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do there, but just putting the adapters in place. So I've got these flanges mounted to the bottom of the top, and I've got the piping in here, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to attach this. I think I'm just going to get it all nice and snug and run some HVAC tape around the connections. On my router side, I've got the blast gate coming out on the side of the unit, and the table saw blast gate will be coming out on the front. It's going to be a little cumbersome as is for me to open and close these, the table saw especially. I might come back with a longer blast gate where I can have the handle out here, just open and close like so. I don't know, but it will work, and it'll work a lot better than the way the saw is right now. But for the meantime, to stop this from rocking, I've just got a shim. I'm just going to slide in place, and that holds everything nice and snug. And I'm going to just use a couple of 3-inch screws to come down on the side to stop the pipe from wanting to twist a little bit. And also I'm just going to tape up the seams where the pipe and blast gate meet the flange itself. Alright, I've got everything lined up where I want to have it mounted. I've got my dust collection port for my future router side, larger port for the table saw. And now all that's left to do is move that heavy table saw onto this base. Because this thing is so darn heavy, and these 2 platforms are the same height, I've just unbolted it, and I think what I can do is just lift up slightly and pull it my way onto this platform, making sure that this edge of the former mobile base and that edge of the saw stay together. I don't want it to fall off one way or the other, so here goes nothing. Oh yeah, this ain't bad at all. Alright, well that was easy. I thought it would be a lot more difficult than that. Now just, oh man, line up the saw with my marks. Whew, this thing's heavy. There we go. That looks good.